Hi there, it's Bonnie again from So Inspired by Bonnie. And what I thought we would do today in Tuesday's tips is cover how to get your embroideries to lay nice and flat and have the thread itself kind of raise up off of the fabric so it's nice and puffy. I get asked periodically, how do I get my embroideries to lay so nice and flat, and how do I get the thread to stand up off of the fabric? And I thought I would share those tips with you today. So what I have here is a little embroidery that's from our Angels collection. I've intentionally sort of wrinkled it up so that we could do our demo today. And a little bit about my ironing surface. I've started out with a piece of wood that I covered with a few layers of batting that I had on hand, and then I covered the batting with some ironing fabric. You know, it's heat resistant. That silver fabric that you can get at Joann's or Hobby Lobby, I think, carries it as well. So then I have a nice flat surface. I have laid this surface, it's not tacked down or anything on my dresser, but I just lay this surface on top of an old dresser that I have in my sewing studio. And that way I have a nice ironing surface that doesn't bounce up and down. It's nice and firm, and I just love it because it's what I need to get the results that I want. The biggest tip I have is to use, well, I don't know if it's the biggest tip, but one of the tips I have is to use a towel to iron onto. So I just get a towel out, and the reason I do that is because it's a nap. It's got a nice poofy nap, and that allows a place for the stitches to go into, so I'm not just ironing the stitches down flat, because I like my stitches to stand up. And then I take my embroidery and I lay it face down into the towel. Again, this gives the stitches a place to fall into. I have a nice hard surface, but I want a squishy surface, the towel, for my stitches to actually fall into. And then I put my iron at a setting that my fabric will handle. This is a cotton, so I have it at a cotton setting. Let me step back a minute. Before I do my embroidery, I always pre-treat my fabrics with a spray starch. I spray my fabric, I starch it, and I iron it. That gives the fabric a little bit of stabilization, if you will, without actually a stabilizer. But it makes the fabric a little bit stiffer and you'll have less puckering. It works like a charm. Then after I've done the embroidery and I'm ready to do my ironing of my embroidery, I spray it again from the back side. And then I'm going to press and kind of smooth this embroidery out as I press. And as I'm pressing into this towel, my stitches are actually having a place to go. Sometimes when I lift off my embroideries from the towel, I actually have kind of an engraving of the design into my towel. It's kind of funny. But that's really all there is to it. You just want to smooth it out, iron it from the back side, never iron it from the front, and there you go. You get a nice embroidery where the stitches actually pop off of the fabric. I hope you take these tips and use them. Let me know how you do with them. I'd love to hear your comments and how you get the best out of your embroideries when you press them so that they don't have any puckering. Until next Tuesday. Bye-bye for now.